Well, hello everyone. Yes, it's another live. I am so excited. How's everyone this evening? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm so excited that you all are here tonight. Well, guess what? Guess what? You know I do. We have an awesome show lined up tonight. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I'm telling you, I'm bringing in and certified. Are you ready for this? A certified mental health coach. Yes, she is. She is a family emotional wellness coach. Bottom line, she is the bomb and she knows what she is doing. She is a Chicago native. Yes, she is from the Chi-Town. That's all right. We're excited. And I am just so excited to bring someone to our show of such caliber, such love and compassion. And I'm telling you, we are going to have an awesome night. And what are we talking about tonight? We're talking about flanking. And I know you're like, what? What does a military maneuver have to do with educational moments with Dr. Naita? Well, come on, you ready? Tell somebody, share this link with somebody. Come on in and we are going to have an awesome time. So look, without further ado, I'm going to bring in our very special guest, none other than Miss Sandra Johnson. Woo! Give her some love.
Let's do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Well, hello, sis. How are you?
I am great, Dr. Naita. Thank you so much for having me. This is exciting. Your energy is life.
Well, thank you. Thank you. But I'm just so excited that you are here. And, you know, I read some of your accolades and everything, but I'm just so excited to be able to call you friend.
Thank you.
And
Thank
you
you.
know, we met a couple years ago at a like a convention, and
Right.
we both had
Right.
tables. We were selling products, and we exchanged information. We became friends. Next thing we knew, we were on a panel together. You know,
Yes.
working together with another organization, and I'll tell you, and we're friends. Oh, but wait a minute. Matter of fact, after we met each other, I think that next Sunday we saw each other at church. We're like,
You got it.
you got it.
That's right.
Well,
That's
that was
right.
awesome. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Good. Well, please tell us about yourself. You know, my audience does not know you. So please introduce yourself. Tell us, what do you do? What on earth is a family emotional wellness coach?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I
Oh.
got you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. First
Mhm.
of all, again, as I said, thank you. And I'm Sandra D. Johnson. I am this family coach. I like to call myself Family Coach Sandra. And so who I am and what I do is all about family emotional wellness, making sure the family is well. And so how do we do that? I end up getting referrals through, let's just say, specifically teen court of our city. And so it'd be a juvenile who's had some troubles and got into some situations with law enforcement. And then I come along and I get to not just help that young person, but to tap into what the family unit needs. And so that's really my heart around being a family coach. And you know how we'll look back at our life and you think like, when did you start doing this? And it's like, hey, you know what? I've been doing this for a long time and I didn't realize what it was called. And we create a title for it. And so that's what it was. My background is with the Department of Juvenile Justice and working in a lot of nonprofits, but I have 30 years strong of working with young people and their families. And I know you can't tell by looking at me, but yeah, I've been putting in some time, right? Totally love it. Totally love it. And one of my key phrases that I use is we cannot use 70s methods on millennial young people.
That's right.
Right? And I think we can't use 70s methods on our millennial thinking. We live here now, right?
Right, absolutely. Are you getting a feedback? Are you getting an echo?
No, no echo. It was a slight pause, but no echo.
Okay, all right. I'm just asking the audience because I'm getting a little bit of a feedback, but now I'm not. So, okay.
Okay.
Well, look, I love your work. I love what you're doing
Thank you.
in the community, on social media. And there's a term that you use that I just absolutely love, and that is personal manuals. You refer to young people as personal manuals. Will you explain what that's about?
Yes. So what was happening is I continue to hear throughout the years, children don't come with manuals. We don't know what to do because children don't come with manuals. And then I started saying, but yes, they do. Every child is their own manual. And
Mhm.
so what should I be doing? Read it, reread it, highlight it. You pay attention to
Yes,
what you see right in front of you. Because my oldest child is not the same manual than my youngest child. They each are
absolutely.
different manuals. So the personal manual is each child is their own manual. They teach parents what they need, what is
Absolutely.
going on. And so again, if we're not paying attention to that manual, we miss the journey with that young person.
Yes, yes. And that's something that I wanted to talk about today. So, when you and I were speaking earlier this week, and we were talking about some of the issues that today's parents are facing, and you brought up actually the topic of flanking. And flanking is actually a military maneuver. It's a strategy in the military. Now, how on earth does flanking impact our lives today, who are people who may not be in the military? And how does it fit with parenting? My goodness.
That's a wonderful question.
I
And
thought,
so when I was doing my research, and I love words, okay? I
mhm,
love words. I love beautiful meanings. And I think we all have to pay attention to the words we use. But I
yeah,
think there's words that we may have dismissed because I don't know what it means. I don't know where they use it at. So I came to understand flanking and did some research and understanding that it's the idea of how the military will go to a left flank or a right flank. They go to the extreme side of the situation. And so let's take the child as the situation, right?
okay.
So if the parent who is beautifully taking care of that baby, and you, so my hand would represent the parent. So the parent taking care of the child all through the, those first few years, toddler, all that stuff, and
Hmm.
then elementary, and then they get into middle school. And I say that parents have to begin to move out of the way, and then
Woo.
high school, and then college, and so the flanking is going to mean that I'm going to take an extreme left or right. In other words, I'm going to get on the side. And if you notice what just happened with just this visual aid, my hand in front of my face and I move it away, my vision, if I represent the child, I now have a clearer vision. I've been seeing everything through my parents.
Yes.
And so I say that parents have to begin to flank different ages and stages of that young person's development so that the young person can use the skills they've been given by God. They
Yes.
have a mind, they have a
Yes.
vision, they
Yes.
have hopes, they have dreams. Too many families, I find that a lot of the crisis that I'm seeing in the home is
Hmm.
because the parent
Hmm.
refuses to flank or they
Okay.
don't understand what flanking is. It's a
Okay.
repositioning. So when
Whoa.
I think of the military, they
Yeah.
reposition themselves. Why? Because
Yeah.
they understand we're a united team. We're a united team. Everyone has a responsibility, and we can handle the enemies around us if we flank better, right?
Come on.
That repositioning. And
Yeah.
so we really need for our parents to start recognizing, whoa, I've been standing in this position too long. I'm blocking the
Woo.
view of what
Yeah.
my young person needs to see. And you know what else is beautifully unique about that? When you reposition,
Hmm.
the issue of your vision changes as the
Hmm.
parent. So what
Yes.
do you have to do? Trust what you've invested in.
Yes.
You have to adjust your trust. And aren't you raising a young person to be an adult? Are you raising them to be a toddler all of their life?
Whoa.
You're
Mm.
raising them to be an adult. And I even like to say you're influencing them to be an adult. You're influencing them. Your influence. We think that influence is something social media created. No, parents have been influencers from the
Right.
beginning.
Right.
You've always been an influencer. You just didn't get likes and follows the way they get them on social media.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm trying to create a new banner because I'm asking, are you raising a young person to be a young adult or a toddler
Yeah.
all their lives?
And I'm
Wow.
going to tell you, some people, that's a
Hmm.
hard statement. It's a hard thing to think
Hmm.
about because
Yeah.
you got to admit that you have to let go. See, a toddler always needs you.
Yes.
Toddlers always now, and they will get they
Hmm.
fussy. They're gonna make a lot of noise,
Yes. Yes.
but they
Yes.
always need you. You got to be watching
Absolutely.
for them because they
Right.
could be in danger. But the young person is developing into the adult.
Yes.
They don't always need you, and
Yes.
some parents don't know what to do if they're
Absolutely.
not needed.
Ooh, but that's a whole nother issue. That's a
It
parent
is.
issue. That's an
It
insecurity
is.
in the whole in the parent. So the
Yes.
parent is crippling their child because of their own unmet needs
Yeah.
and not taking care of themselves and investing in themselves to
Right.
satisfy those holes that are in their own person, their
Right.
person, their being as a person. Right.
Absolutely. So then they say, why would I reposition myself? Why would I
Mhm.
flank? Well, you have to flank if you
Mhm.
want to help them move into their young adulthood instead
Absolutely.
of being a toddler. And
Mm.
again, that just means immature.
Yes. Yes.
Immature is
Yes.
all those words are about, right? That young adult should have maturity about them. That toddler it's going to be less mature
Right.
because they're a toddler. They
Yeah,
want their
absolutely.
way and they don't care who has to pay for it. They
That's right.
want their way.
Absolutely. Woo, you hit on a lot of things right there. So, look, is there a time then when parents need to acknowledge that their young person needs help beyond the scope of what they can provide? Because I do see that parents will try to be the end all and be all, and they just simply don't have all the resources, all the answers
Yeah,
to help their young person. So, can you speak to that for a moment?
absolutely. I think that, again, if we're paying attention to the manual,
Yeah.
right? What is the
Mm-hmm.
manual showing us? What
Mm-hmm.
are they saying? Am I hearing them? What are
Yes.
they doing? How are you
Mm-hmm.
using your eyes to watch things? So I don't think there's a magical age,
Mm-hmm.
but I think there are circumstances, there are situations to
Yeah.
where you look at, wow, look at how my 14-year-old is responding to that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what to do. What should I? Oh, I'm going to go back to old methods and bring in some old resources and
Mm-hmm. I'm
not
gonna
for
beat
the
it
new
out of
generation.
them. I'm gonna
Yep,
beat it out of them.
I am going to beat it out. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Tell us how that works out for you. Okay. When they start using letters near your name, D, C, and F, you don't want that. You don't want agencies coming in. I mean, that's just
Right.
the truth because,
Right.
oh, I'm going to beat it out of them. And, oh, I wish you would call somebody. The issue is
Mm-hmm.
that the parent is the one who should be calling someone. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that you're afraid my child's going to report me. It's the
Mm-hmm.
parent has to be able to say, you know what? I need help. And there's
Mm-hmm.
no shame.
None.
There's no
None.
shame in that
None.
because we have a more challenging generation.
Yes.
Again, we talk about how much they have, what is available for them. Well, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of what we see is because they do have so much. We know they have more than what has ever been in the history of the universe. They don't
Mm-hmm.
know that
Right.
because that's
They
all
had
they've
it.
ever
Yes.
known,
Right.
right?
Right.
They only know this device as a phone. Like we're like, oh my goodness, this is a computer in your pocket, and we're like, oh, this is wild. For them, they're like, why are y'all making a big deal of that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
because
like the microwave,
yes,
we didn't always have microwaves.
we
You know,
didn't.
look, Sandra, I was telling a group of students one time, I said, no, we didn't always have microwaves. And they were like, well, what did you
What?
do? Did you cook it? They said, did you cook on open fire? I'm like, boy, if you don't get out of here, you cook on open
Oh,
fire.
absolutely. It's always been, and
But,
so another thing that I end up saying about this generation, our younger kids, is they're an upgrade generation because all they have ever known is upgrading things, right? So
mm,
back to what you have said, right? With that question, how do I know? Well,
mm,
you look at what you have. You look at your own resources as the parent and you say, wait a minute. I think I see the need. And again, you involve them. Hey, let me talk to you. Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what you're thinking. Is there something you think I can do? And get them involved. It's their story. Get them involved. Ask them what they think if they're willing to talk to you about it. Now, if they're not willing to talk to you about it, that's your answer right there.
right.
You need someone else to help because
Absolutely.
they can't hear you at all. And
Hmm.
there are times that young person, they have and they will completely shut off with parents because
Hmm.
of whatever the dynamic is. Again, don't look to blame. It's not about finding fault. It's not, oh, can I put my finger on it? I find that we feel like if I can give it a name, then I can fix it. Don't worry about giving it a name. Invite someone else in to help. You might need that help too. You may need that support. That's
Hmm.
what ends up happening with me as a family coach, because not only am I going to pour into that young person, but I got to find out what's happening in that young person's life.
Yeah.
Who is speaking into that young person? Who has been their influencer? And I
Hmm.
want them to be a part of what that continual development is. It's continual development.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to be open to, if there is a need outside of what my resources are, I
Hmm.
got to not be ashamed and I got to be willing to get the help and ask someone else to come in to support the situation.
Absolutely. That was excellent. Excellent. So, and you're not getting the feedback from me?
No.
I'm getting the echo. Okay. So look, we also talked about this concept called bad intel. So let's park there for a minute. So when we talk about bad intel, we're talking about information again, that 70s mentality
Mm-hmm.
that we're trying to raise our millennial young people with. So let me give
Mm-hmm.
you an example, audience. We're talking about the 70s mentality, things like um oh my goodness, I can't even think of one. What was one of our examples that we gave? We gave bad intel is that the parent is always right. No,
Yeah.
the parent is not always right. That's
Or not.
bad intel.
It is
Bad,
bad intel.
bad
And
intel. Hmm.
and with that, the issue
Oh,
with the parents are always right. It's
mm-hmm.
the adults take a lot of pressure from the outside world. So our young people, they're not the only ones who have peer pressure, right? So adults have this peer pressure. It'll come from your family, it comes from your coworkers, and you don't have to listen to those kids. You need to do this and you need to do that, and this is how you need to respond. You go and you take that into your home, and then it's like it's my way or the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh goodness, do not tell this generation that, because they
Right,
will take the highway immediately. All
right.
right. They will take the highway. So the parent always being right is really scary. It's scary for
Mm-hmm.
our families, because what you really end up doing is thinking everything depends on you, which then feeds the reason why you don't get help outside of you, because
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking too, you're always right. Surely I'm right. No,
Mm-hmm.
we all have blind spots
Absolutely.
and we need help with those blind spots. Guess who
Absolutely.
could be a big help with your blind spot? How about your kids? How
Mm-hmm.
about your kids?
Mm-hmm.
They can be a big help with your blind spots.
Yes.
They will
Oh,
see something. you
and then
you
and they're happy to let you know.
they will let you know,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
again, and the younger they are, the more quick they are to let you know. And I love it because when they're younger, it's like just raw truth, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and you don't talk like that. And it's like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
All it is, they're just seeing things without all the blinders, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're
Right.
just like, you're their parent. They should be
Mm-hmm.
able to say it. I said,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? You lied the other day, Mom. You just said you don't lie, but you said a lie the other day.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
put you on blast. And really, we should be taking it as one of the most beautiful gifts that we have in their beautiful honesty, because what, as they get older and older, they start shutting down. They
Right.
don't let you in. They don't. They're like, look, I don't even care what decisions you make. This is about me
Mm-hmm.
now. And they start understanding that. So
Right.
you being okay with hearing that truth, from them,
Yeah.
and how freeing it can get. So when you when the parents always being right, one of the other ones, um, we use this phrase in front of kids. Well, someone had used it in front of some elementary age kids, and that
Mm-hmm.
they had said, when y'all get in the real world, da 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 da, and this is going to be true. And the little boy got up, or raised his hand. He said, "I'm sorry, ma'am. Is this not the real world I'm
Yeah.
living in now?"
Exactly.
Right? And so
Exactly.
that's one of those statements, and it's like, we
Mm-hmm.
got to check that. This
Yes.
is the real
This
world.
is the
Everything.
real
So,
world.
so
Yes.
you just this elementary kid is checking us and saying, "So what y'all saying? This is a cartoon,
Yeah, this is a
and
cartoon.
and
Exactly.
y'all are all the normal ones, but until I get 18, I'm in a cartoon." No,
Right.
no, right?
Absolutely.
That's where this other topic that you'll have to bring me back to deal with, this equality comes in, right? And we
Absolutely.
have to see everyone as equal
Absolutely.
instead of
Absolutely.
looking at children as lesser humans. It
Right.
is
Yeah.
totally bad intel. They
Bad
are not
intel.
lesser humans.
Failure is not an option.
Uh-oh.
Bad intel.
Uh-oh.
Bad intel.
Woo! That is really bad
Mhm.
intel.
And even I find that because I've worked with students who have excelled academically all their lives, and then their parents will put them in an even more rigorous environment. And for the first time, they're not doing as well as they have always done, in a traditional high school setting or a traditional middle school setting. And now they don't know how to function. They don't know how to bounce back. So there are things that can be learned in failure. Can you speak
Mm.
to failure not being an option and why that is bad intel?
Absolutely. Very bad intel, because when you stop and you just look at the phrase and you have to think, wait a minute, humanly speaking, failure is an option. We have to take the pressure off of us. I look at the phrase that, and I thought about this. I said, wow, it makes a wonderful tag for a Hollywood movie, but
Mm-hmm.
it does not walk out well in your everyday life.
Yes.
Because if I fail a test, I have failed. If
Mm-hmm.
I fail this situation, it's like, oh man, I tried to do this and it didn't even work out. It could be making a cake, and you mess it up and it's a fail, right? We kind of
Mm-hmm.
see it,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they'll
The
joke
flop?
about it on,
Yeah.
on social media, but it's like, it's okay to fail. What
Mm-hmm.
we have to do is learn to fail well. teach
Absolutely.
teach us, parents, teach your young people to fail well. First of all, it is normal. We
Mm-hmm.
must normalize failure. Okay, you messed up, you fell down the same way when they were little, right? They fall.
Mm-hmm.
Do you leave them
Mm-hmm.
down there when they fall down?
Yeah.
No, you go over and you help pick them up. And the older they get, you're like, get up, you're all right.
Yeah. Take it off.
So why are we not saying get up, you're all right, when they fail that test, or when
Yeah.
they take that, it's like, you're all right, but then we want to, hey, say, you know what, tell me how you feel about that. They've got
Mm-hmm.
feelings about failure. They're
Absolutely.
struggling maybe with how they process a failure, because I've never made a C. I've always made A's and I've
Yes,
never made a
I've
C.
noticed that.
Right?
Yes.
And then they see a C as a failure when it's no, it's just a lower grade
Mm-hmm.
because your circumstances are different.
Right.
The what and really, really for all of us, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
wake up in the reality of wow, all of us are now under a whole different set of circumstances because of a pandemic. And we're
Yes.
having to learn how to process some things because of the filter now of the pandemic. And
Mm-hmm.
it's tough. It's hard. We have to go ahead and call those things what they are. That's a lot of way to
Absolutely.
deal with failure. It's just calling it what it really is.
Mm-hmm.
This is something I messed up on. I thought I could do this. I studied. I put all
Mm-hmm.
my time in. Adults who take these major tests, like
Mm-hmm.
to be certified, to get a license, to get higher education things, and they go in and they take a test, they retest, and they're like, now I got to start paying for it, and you start going through that. There's some depression that will
Yeah.
follow that failure. And some of that might need to happen for a short period of time for you just to rest your mind.
Yeah.
And for you to then come back with, okay, I messed up. I know what I put in, but I'm going to stop pressuring myself to think I got to be all the way up here to be excellent. No, excellent
Mhm.
is just you. It's you. Wherever you can find your excellence, you take it. Don't change it because someone says if you don't make an A plus every time, all the time, then you're a failure. That is bad intel.
Bad
That's
in
bad intel.
bad in.
You decide, like I asked a teenager today, 14-year-old young man, I
Mm-hmm.
said, he told me he's making a B in his math class. And I said to him, I said, young person, is that your best? And he
Mm-hmm.
said, right now it is. I said, well, that's
Okay.
fine.
That's
Very
right.
good. That's
Yes.
his honesty, right?
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't need he's like, I could probably make an A, but right now, this is the
It's
best
the
I
best
can
I can
give.
do. I
That's
understand.
right.
I
And that is
understand.
beautiful honesty. And that's something we can work with, right? So
Absolutely.
when someone feels like they have failed, you have to
Mm-hmm.
look and say, did you give it everything you could? Yes,
Absolutely.
I did. Okay, well, accept the failure, learn from it, let yourself heal, pick yourself up, let someone else pick you up. Could be that you may need some help. Listen. Parents have to listen for that if that young person needs help. If they just really need to they sometimes we need to just sulk a little bit. If
Yeah.
they need to sulk for a minute or two, let them have that. That might be an issue of giving them space while
Yes.
they fail.
Right.
To
So that they
understand,
can
hey, right,
reevaluate. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and they need to reevaluate. And you stay over there, and you said, I am here. I
Mm-hmm.
support you, whether you pass the test or fail the test. It
That's
does
right.
not change your character as a person. It does
Absolutely.
not change the value of your humanity. I
That's right.
still see
That's
you. I
right.
still hear you. And we're
Yes.
going to move forward. Take the failure with you. Okay.
Yes.
So take
Yes.
it with you. And because life is about really having some scars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
And
so I
getting back
wanted to,
up. It's about
right? It's
getting
that
back up.
getting back up.
Absolutely.
Our problem
Absolutely.
is when we let wounds stay open and we don't let
Mm-hmm.
them heal. Let
Yes.
that failure heal and
Yes.
move on to whatever your next needs to be, because whatever you need to accomplish is already in you. So the confidence, so they may need some confidence encouragement. But I tell you what they don't need is for someone beating them up saying, yeah, you could do better. You should have done better. You know that our family does this and our family that's all great for the 70s. Right now,
Absolutely.
I need to meet you where you're at right here in this universe,
Mm-hmm.
pandemic life, and
Yes.
understand, you know what? Give it all you can. And if that's all you got for
And
today,
that's it.
I'm satisfied. I'm
That's
gonna keep
right.
supporting you through it.
That's right.
Yeah,
And then we can
we've
go
got to
move
be
on.
willing to
Try
fight
it
a good
again
fight.
tomorrow. Try it again
Yes,
tomorrow.
that's it.
Absolutely.
Have a good sleep. Let them, yeah, give them a good
Absolutely.
sleep. They need a good sleep.
And Mandela, I have a T-shirt, and it says, and it's a quote from Nelson Mandela, and it says, "I never lose. Either I win or I learn."
That's
One or
excellent.
the other.
Excellent,
One or the
Mandela.
other.
We
And I
miss you.
love it. I
We
love
miss you, brother.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, a break for our sponsor. So I'm going to share my
Yes.
screen for a moment and so that I can share. My sponsor this week is none other than Vicky Walker. She is the owner stylist at Inspire Hair, where she takes care and provide all manner of hair care. She is located at 2628 University Boulevard West, and you can schedule an appointment by calling 904 504 5339. And as always, you can visit me on my website. You can make donations to help me keep moving forward because I promise you, tune in next week because I have a huge announcement. Yes. So you want to tune in next week. But please visit my website and you can always make donations or partner with me through Cash App. And there are different sponsorship and partnership opportunities that are available. So we are back, and it's just the two of us. And, before we close out, can you share with us, Miss Sandra, any of your products that you currently have or anything that is going on in right now in your life?
Yes. So I want to encourage people to follow me on at Madicel Coach on social media and on podcast, and on YouTube. I'm Madicel TV. Madicel, Madisel, stands for making a difference in someone else's life. And my website and things are right here on the screen, www.themadicelgroup.com.
Mm-hmm.
And I have two resources that I'm really proud of in what we've been talking about tonight. And that's going to be a book for parents called Strategic Parenting for the 21st Century. That
Yeah.
is available. It's on Amazon, but I do encourage you to send me a message and you can get it directly from me easier. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I have a book for young people called Message Notifications, a book for my young people. And that is written to our young people, our young adults, our teenagers, and young adults to help them with relationships, to help, and that's all relationships, to help them with their leadership skills that they don't know to tap into, but also to help them with communication because they what is being poured into them about communication is really scary because they don't a lot of times understand there's communication outside of their thumbs. They're so busy with
Yes.
these thumbs, right? They don't understand there's a whole lot more of them that is missing development with communication. I need them to be better than just having strong thumbs. They got to learn to look at people and listen and what how important it is what they are typing and what is being said to them, about them, for them, and what they're saying to each other. So yes, you are.
Yes.
I welcome you. Send me messages, connect with me, and however I can serve you, I'm available.
Very good. Well, thank you. Well, do you have any closing remarks? I can't believe our 30 minutes is up already. But do
I
you have
know.
closing remarks for families, for individuals who are, learning to flank, learning to reposition themselves in their lives of their children? You know,
Yes.
any closing remarks?
So two things I would say, and that's going to be one of them is examine all these contradictions. We have a lot of contradictions that we have heard that are bad intel, and we just go and continue to repeat them and not stop and think, wait a minute, why am I saying this?
So,
Just
can you
like
give an example?
an example would be, well, I don't want to beat a dead horse. Well, if the horse is dead, why are you beating it? What it means is
Mhm.
you keep bringing. It means you keep bringing out the past. If
Right.
something is dead, let it
Leave it
stay dead.
alone.
Let it
Yeah,
stay dead.
I agree. Ooh, that
So
aggravates me.
right, and another one we use about the horse And I talked about this on my live about a half hour ago, is the one that we say, oh, I can lead, you can lead a horse to water, but you
But you
can't
can't
make him
make them
drink.
drink.
It's a contradiction because you're not talking about horses and you're not talking about water. You're talking about control. You want to control someone's situation and they're not listening to you. But that's the phrase we use, and people will just co-sign on it. And it's like, no, because if you've ever worked or lived around a horse, you don't have to lead them to water, and you definitely don't have to hold their head down to make them drink.
Wow, that's
Okay.
good.
So
That's
again, it's the contradictions. The last one is
mhm.
when we say, or we hear our kids say, young people say it as much as well too. It's not fair. It's
Okay.
not fair. I got to tell you, there is nothing wrong with that statement. It's actually a fair statement because what they are really challenging you to do is to re-examine equality. They're looking
Mm.
for equity and equality in a situation. And you may need to stop and say, wow, it isn't fair. And I did that. I made a mistake. Oh, no. Again, these are things that we end up contradicting ourselves in the family relationship, because I don't want to hear this child say it. And our comeback has been in the past, well, life isn't fair, but it should be, right? But bigger than life is humans.
Yeah.
Humans should be fair. I need to treat you as my equal. I need to treat you fair, right? Because you deserve that. You are worthy of that. You
Yeah.
are my sister. You are my equal. I am not greater than. You are not less than.
Yes.
We're gonna keep things fair, right?
Absolutely.
That's all
Absolutely.
they're doing, is calling us out and saying, run the tape back, evaluate the situation. Run
Run
it
it,
back.
run it
Evaluate. Run it back and evaluate.
back.
Okay?
Very good.
So those
So,
are my closing statements. I appreciate the parents. Thank you all parents for what you do. And I'm so excited about the leaders we have for our tomorrow. But we
yes.
have got to make sure we are investing well in
Yes.
those leaders of tomorrow, because we need
Excellent.
them.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I have to bring you back. You have to come back because we have to talk about equality and that this whole less than equal than culture that we live
Yes,
in. Can we talk about that next time?
absolutely. You got
Yeah.
it.
So that means there's going to be a next time.
You got it. You got
Yeah,
it.
well, very good. Well, Sandra, thank you so very much for joining me this evening. And this will run, run on YouTube. It'll run on Facebook. And I
Wonderful.
just appreciate you. I love you, and I'm just so thankful for the work that you're doing in our community today.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Thank you for having me.
absolutely. Take
Appreciate
care.
you. Bye bye.